And who's ready for another Avengers speed paint? Ha! Oh boy, I am! That sounds great! Hot dog! Ha! Alright, way to go, Mickey. You go ahead and sit in the corner and enjoy the show. Anyway, what's up, everybody? My name is Tim Michael, and I'm with TimMichaelArts.com. I teach tutorials on how to draw digitally with digital tablets. I've been on an Avengers kick, watched the video, the movie over a couple days ago, and I figured, let's go ahead and draw a couple Avengers characters. So, I've already drawn Loki, and if you haven't seen that video, go check out the main page, my main channel here on YouTube. That's Tim Michael Arts here on YouTube, or else you can go to my website, TimMichaelArts.com, for the tutorials. And I decided, after drawing Loki from the Avengers, that I'd go ahead and do another character, and that was the Incredible Hulk. I used an image off of Google.com as my reference photo, and let me tell you something, I don't like using reference photos, and that's because I want to create something on my own, but of course, when you use a reference photo, you get better drawings, and it looks better in the end, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, nah. You know what I mean. So, if you guys are still trying to figure out how to work with body structuring and all that jazz, may as well go grab yourself a reference photo. It's not going to kill you. Use a reference photo for now, and then when you get better at drawing bodies because you've been copying other photos, then you can start doing your own thing. Anyway, I really had a hard time with this back arm. Since it has a lot of proportion and perspective involved, I wasn't sure how to handle it, but it ended up working out in the end. Make that nose just a wee bit smaller. For a humongous Hulk, he sure has a really small nose. Now, I'm working in Photoshop CS6 with a Wacom Cintiq 12WX. It's a smaller Cintiq, but obviously, as we all know, Cintiqs are awesome. So I'll take any Cintiq I can get my hands on, and I have my 12WX, and that works great. So what I'm doing is my usual thing, just kind of exaggerating everything out, more of a caricature of the Hulk. But let me tell you, the Hulk is already very caricatured on his own, so I really didn't need to do much except draw what I saw. And then I figured I'd go ahead and do the comic type look, so outlines with very heavy fills as much as possible, or whatever the case was. And then a little later on, I decided to go more for realism. Since I had all the shadows and highlights and color tones already in the reference photo, I figured, may as well copy that too. Why not? So if you guys do want to see that, like I said, just look it up on Google. Look up Avengers in Google. You know what, even with a reference photo, sometimes it's still kind of hard to get these lines all figured out, and especially drawing hands and things. So it's just kind of feeling my way through each one of these pieces, because you can look at the reference photo as much as you like, but if you don't have an understanding of anatomy and structure, sometimes it can still be a challenge. Best thing that you can do sometimes is take the image that you're using as a reference and flip it upside down, and flip your art upside down. It forces you to kind of look at it not as a hand, but more as different shapes that you can fill together. All right, working on the hand in the back now, and lots of detail in that backhand. I love how that turned out. Couldn't really see the pants on Hulk, so I decided to keep that simple. All right. Green letters, please. Thank you very much. Let's blow it up. And I also wanted to kind of have it hiding behind him ever so slightly. And now let's go ahead and do some colors. Now, I decided to go with the Hulk green, and then a little later on, I adjusted it with the hue and saturation down to more of a muted tone. And for me, personally, when I start doing the color side of things, I always want to take it into realism. But I stink at the realism side of things. I've only done like one good realism. That was my James Hetfield. You can see that on my main channel. But I decided, we'll see what I do with this one. I'm just going to work my way through it. Alright, let's get these. I like using a gray tone for teeth and eyes or anything white, because I'm going to put some more white in there later. Alright, now darker green. Start getting some of this shadow. I think I'm using a feather brush for this, like an airbrush. And then if I needed to, I just pushed a little harder to get a harder edge, or whatever the case may be, like you can see with that ear and stuff like that. Reference photo, staring at it constantly, trying to make sure just to follow along with all the tones that I saw. I did take some artistic liberty in certain areas, but honestly, since I'm still learning, a lot of the stuff that most artists are trying to learn, and that's just how to work with shading and color tones and certain lighting conditions, it's best just to kind of copy the picture and go with the flow. So continuing my structuring, and a lot of this is just generalized shading here and there. Alright, now highlights. Highlights were interesting in this picture because they were really trying to pull off the idea that they were getting hit with hard high beam light from some direction or another. So it really added a lot of life to this drawing when I started getting those high beam light whitish green tones in there. I really started enjoying that. Let's see, what do I do here next? Trying to get some more of the darker tones. I would have loved to have put a little bit more darkness on the back of the hand there. It looks pretty nice and dark back there right now, but you'll see in a few minutes as I continue to work things out and go darker in certain areas, that dark green just begins to become brighter. And as you take certain tones darker, you need to go darker yet on other tones. So you'll see as I'm trying to shape out muscle groups and things like that. Like I said, just looking at the reference photo and filling out a lot of those light greens. Well, a lot of the dark greens become lighter, and a lot of the light greens become lighter yet, and highlights become lighter. Now I'm going in with almost pure white and getting those final highlight tones in a bunch of his areas of his body there. Let's see, filling out, filling out, filling out. He's starting to take on some 3D shape, and I love when you start seeing that. Believe me, if you need some inspiration to keep drawing, when you start seeing some 3D tone coming into your structuring, you know you're doing good. All right, let's get these Hulk green eyes in here. And I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I left them as green as possible, so I'll hue and saturation them a little bit brighter since they're separated on their own layer. And now I'm noticing on the reference photo that his eyes are open a bit wider even though they're so small, so I wanted to go ahead and try and open them a bit wider by actually darkening over the top of the eye. That was kind of a losing battle, and in the end I kind of enjoyed mine more. It did take away from the likeness from the Hulk that was in the movie, but at the same time, it's pretty obvious this guy's the Hulk, because I don't know any other green fellas out there of that sort of musculature, so he's the Hulk, why not? And more darkening, more lightening. I'm just going to say that throughout the whole video here. Dark light, dark light, dark light, dark light. Refine, refine, define, refine, define, refine, define. So, yeah, what a boring video, right, guys? Anyway, as I continued on here, I realized, okay, we're going to have to deal with the background here. And I did a couple different things, and I'm ashamed of myself for not finishing what I've already attempted. First off, I started with the initial design in the actual image that I was designing from, you know. And then there you go, you can see the muted tones going into the Hulk now. There you go, much more muted, and the eyes are now a bit greener, and I can work on some more of the definition and such. Now, obviously I put a life into it. Now let's work on the background, and I decided to keep his his outline layer in there just so I can see around him okay. I really wanted to have one of those alien monsters in the background, and I started forming it out, and I did it a couple different times, or I tried refining out the one. I pulled up reference photos for it, and I just decided it was a lot of work to have him in the background, and I tried a couple different times, I think, and I finally decided, you know what, admittedly, I know I stink at backgrounds, and I'm going to have to work on practicing that a lot, so let's go ahead and just hold off on that for now. So I was trying to do just some generalized skyscraper-type buildings and things. You can definitely see where I haven't practiced, and I finally just decided in the end to go with some rubble on the ground and finalize things out to just a very muted blue to black tone sort of set. And then also add in just like some highlight over the Hulk name. And that should be coming up here in just a second. This video is almost coming to a close here in about a minute and a half. So guys, I just want to say thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please make sure to check out my website, timmichaelarts.com, for more tutorials. And also, let me see, you go to my channel and subscribe to my channel. Please, please, please. Thank you to the 3,000 plus subscribers that I have right now, and I'm hoping that one day I will come back and watch this video later and say, wow, I stunk at art, and then because I improved so much over that time, but then also go, wow, look at that, 3,000 subscribers in comparison to my 20 million. So I'll take 20 million. You guys, there's 20 million people in the world. I'm sure they're all artists of some sort or another. So I'll take whoever I can get. So please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. If you have any requests, put them in the comment box below. And please make sure to keep it clean. It's my main line. Cleaning up and refining around this guy. I probably should have put a mask around him, but I didn't. So I just got to go and clean up everything around him. And then, other than that, guys, also make sure that you go check out my Tumblr. It's drawtoomuch.com. That's my Tumblr blog. You can also go to my Instagram, Tim Michael Arts on Instagram. Hey, look me up on Facebook, Tim Michael Arts on Facebook. I have over 400 likes on my Facebook. I'd love it if you'd be one of them. Put up a lot of stuff over there and just take general everyday pictures and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I think that's about it. So thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this drawing of the Incredible Hulk.
Hot dog! Wow, that looks swell! Way to go, Tim!
Oh, thank you very much, Mickey. All right, guys, God bless you richly. See you right here next time on Tim Michael Arts here on YouTube. Make sure to check out my website, timmichaelarts.com. I know I said that a bunch of times, but I mean it. Please stop by and say hi. See y'all later. Leave a comment in the comment box below.